came on a little early just to make sure everything is set up appropriately. And we'll wait just a minute until 7, and then we'll get started crafting. If for some reason you cannot hear me or anything like that, let me know. But I think we're functioning just fine here. It's Friday night. I'm really happy we made it to Friday. And it's the last day of January. We're finally getting like through the month of January, which has felt really, really long. So it feels like a good night to just relax and do some crafting. I find crafting very relaxing, especially we're working with HTV. I like weeding. I don't know if that's a popular opinion. Do you like weeding? I kind of like the repetitive action of just taking out all the blank spaces of the HTV. Very relaxing. So we're going to be doing some of that tonight. If you have not already, there is a giveaway in the description. We are giving away this right here. I think the one I'm giving away is actually purple. This one's like a light blue. It's a mini heat press. We're going to use it for this project, and it's really handy. I'm going to show you some of the features later, but that giveaway runs through next week, so make sure you get your entries in. So as you come on, say hello. Let me know where you're watching from. I'm in Wisconsin. I'm in the Midwest. It's warm here. It's not feeling like winter. We have no snow, and I think it's crazy that there's people in the South that have snow, and we have nothing here. So no snow, kind of warm. We're going to get rain all weekend, but that's all right. We are moving into February, and Valentine's Day is coming up. So you will be inundated with all kinds of pink and red and hearts and all kinds of stuff, including the craft that we are making right now. So what we're going to make today is this banner right here. I think you can see that, right? This is a banner that is made with fabric and iron-on vinyl and a few other little simple tools. I actually ended up using just some scraps to make this. I found a scrap of fabric and some scraps of HTV, and I really enjoyed making it. So I'm going to show you how to put this together, or to make something very similar if you want to make your own. All right, it is just about 7. Hi, thank you for joining. Okay, so let me show you, well actually before, let me just introduce myself. My name is Sarah. If you're just stumbling upon this, I'm Sarah. This is Creative Ramblings. I do a lot of crafting on this channel. You will find hundreds of videos on craft tutorials. I also do a lot of machine review and tutorials. So this is the Cricut Joy Extra here. We've got a little heat press over here. I have lots of videos that help you figure out, do you need one of these machines? And if you do, which one should you get? And then once you get it, how do you use it? So how do you use the software? What products and materials does it work with? That's what my videos are about. We talk about Cricut and other machines like this, heat presses, printers, sublimation, DTF. We talk a lot about laser crafting on this channel too. So if you're just stumbling across this live, hit that subscribe button if you are a crafter. I would love for you to join this community. You should learn a lot. And you can teach me a lot too. I love when you guys comment on my videos and give me feedback or ask more questions, because a lot of times your comments and feedbacks will inform future videos that I do. So let's start talking about this Valentine's Day banner. So I went into Cricut Design Space and I found these alphabet pennants, and they look like, well, they look like this. And down in the description, I shared the code for each one of those. There's 4 of them. You can get them with every letter of the alphabet if you don't want to spell out love and you want to spell out something else. So these are free with Cricut Access. If you have Cricut Access, these are free. Otherwise, I think they're 99 cents a piece. Cricut Access is a monthly subscription. It's like 10 bucks a month, and you get access to like everything they offer. If you've never tried it before, I linked the free trial down below. If you can get 30 days just to try this out and see if you like the features that come with it. But look up those codes and then you will get access to these. So I loaded it into Cricut Design Space. I cut it out using my Joy Extra. Joy Extra comes with a mat that can hold, it's like 12 by 8.5. So an A4 sheet of paper or a letter size sheet of paper. So you can cut a lot with this machine. And I ended up using a scrap, but I used it all up. This is just a big roll of red HTV. So when you put it on your mat, you put the red side down and the backing up, you mirror your design, and then you cut it. The reason that we are not cutting it live is because I picked a very tedious design. I picked a design that requires a lot of weeding, and I really didn't want to sit here and weed for an hour because these have all of these little holes on them. It was relaxing. I was working on it earlier, and then I made that one earlier this week. Actually, I think I made it last weekend. And it was nice. I like weeding. I like kind of the monotony of it and how good it feels to just pull all these pieces out. So I always leave my piece attached to my mat. I pulled off the excess, and now I can just weed these pieces out. It helps keep it attached while I'm pulling the negatives out. Cricut weeding tool. This thing, these are so cool. This is from a company called Twexy, and they originally started as nail polish holders. If you don't have one of these, you need to get one of these. They're awesome. So as like a nail polish holder, you would put it on here, put your nail polish in, and then you could tilt it, paint your nails. It's really, really cool. But I got it for crafting, and now everybody sells them for crafting. You can actually get these at Dollar Tree too. But what it allows you to do is take out the little pieces and then get it off without them sticking to your hands. I like it for HTV. I like it even better for adhesive vinyl because that stuff just sticks everywhere. But it's kind of nice when you can go to Dollar Tree and get one for $1.25 and it'll serve your purpose. You do have to clean it out every now and then, but that's not too hard. All right, so I'm working on the last letter here. Overall, this HTV is weeding pretty well. This is just a roll of Cricut iron-on vinyl. I really like HTV Ronce iron-on vinyl. They make some really good stuff, and it weeds really well too. But this stuff works well. It's kind of soft. All right, so there's my last one. Just gonna check, make sure I got all the little pieces out. Okay, so let's put the mat away. And we can put this away. So we have all of these pieces that are all weeded and ready to go, cut out of HTV, and they're weeded. And these measure about, these are about 3.5 wide by 4.5 tall. So I can put these off to the side for now. And now we need some fabric to put the HTV on. And I went to my fabric bin and I found some scraps of, it almost looks like canvas, but it's not. It's just a really light cotton fabric that has this kind of linen look to it. So this was a really good size scrap. And I want each of the fabric backing pieces to be a little bit larger than each of these. I also want them to be a little bit taller because we need to make room for this string to go through. So I have a cutting mat here. I have a rotary cutter and I have a ruler. So I am going to make these about 4 inches wide by 6.25 high. I don't do much sewing. I have a sewing machine. I like sewing. I just don't do a lot of it. However, I use cutting mats like this and these tools all the time because I craft with fabric. And like, I can't get that cut when I'm using a scissors. So that is really, really nice to have. So now we've got it 6.5 and we're gonna cut it at 4. This rotary cutter has a new blade too, which is quite nice. And while I'm doing that, I'm gonna actually heat up this heat press. We're gonna just turn it on for now and I will show you the features of it in a little bit. All right, so we'll let that heat up and then we will cut these down. This would be a cute banner to make for any holiday, really. But I felt like I needed a little something for Valentine's Day. Do you decorate for Valentine's Day? I like to put a few things up. They're usually things that I've made, but I don't really go all out. All right, let's put that to the side. So I've got 4 little pieces of fabric here, and before I put the HTV on, I want to get some of these wrinkles out. So I'm just gonna lay these down and we're gonna iron them out. So let's talk about this heat press here. So if you missed it, I'm giving away one of these. It's linked down in the description. Go enter. We've got a couple days left to enter to win it. I love this little heat press. So I love mini heat presses in general. I have a lot of them, but I really like this one. This is the newest one from HTV Ront. And what's different about this one is it is bigger. The smallest one I have from Cricut is about half this size, and it has buttons and a screen. Most mini heat presses don't have this. So this actually lets me set the temperature versus just setting a low, medium, and high. So I've got it set to like 315 right now. It's heating up. It'll beep when it's ready. I can also set the time. So if I really have something specific I'm working on and I need it to be a certain amount of time, I can set that. I'm not going to do that right now, but I can do it. I'm just going to iron these. I think a mini press is so handy to have in your craft room, but not just for crafts. So I do use it for crafts. I use it for if I am sewing something, I like to press my fabric flat like we're doing right now. I use this for iron-on patches. I'm involved in Girl Scouts. I have 2 girls in Girl Scouts. So if you have a Girl Scout or a Boy Scout and you have those little patches that need to be ironed onto the vest, this is phenomenal. You get higher heat than an iron and you get really even heat as well. And it works really great for putting those patches on. And then putting them back on when they inevitably fall off, because they do. I don't know, something about the new material in the Girl Scout vest. They're harder and harder to stick on. Okay, those are looking pretty good. This should actually be a little bit higher or a little bit warmer just to do the cotton. But that's okay. It's getting the job done. Okay, so I've got 4 ironed out here. Now what I'm going to do is grab this. We'll do it in order. We'll start with the L. And I want to put it toward the bottom. And I want there to be a nice, even border all the way around. I'm not going to worry about this top part because we're turning this into a little, I can't think of the word, a little place to put the string through. So we're going to do that when we're done with the HTV. So I'm just going to press it on. So I have this set at 315 right now. I could set the timer, but I don't need to. This is only going to take about 10 seconds, and I'm just going to run it back and forth, and this will press beautifully. Most HTV, unless it says otherwise, is cold peel. So after you press it, just let it sit. Don't do anything. If I were to pull this up now, like if I start to pull, it's going to start pulling up the corner a little bit, and I don't want that. I want it to just cool, and then I will pull it off when it's completely cool. So now I can go do the other ones. I'm now going to have 2 of these little love banners. I'm going to have to go decorate. Maybe that'll be a weekend project. Maybe I like this one here. This has been hanging here for a couple days and I kind of like it. But I think I might put another one of these in my living room. Be excuse to go shop my house and create a fun little mantle for Valentine's Day. I used to be very big on buying new decor for different seasons. And I don't know if it's just because I've accumulated more, but I find that I can go in my basement or in my closet and I can just pull together something without having to buy anything new. And it's very nice. Oh, there is one other cool part of this heat press I have to show you. I'm gonna wait till I'm done with this. So not only is this like a mini heat press for flat things like this, but it has, I'm not gonna touch it, it has a curved part on the bottom here. So that curved part would be perfect for a tumbler. And the reason you would use this for a tumbler is if you're doing sublimation. And normally a mini press like this can't get hot enough for sublimation, but this can go up to 400 degrees. So I could do a small logo on a sublimation blank, like a tumbler or a mug or something, and this would work. It's a really neat feature. Again, another feature I haven't seen on another brand. All right, let's go back to the first one. And I should be able to pull it right off. This is a nice, soft, matte HTV, so it's really soft. It's not glossy. I really like how this looks. If you make this and you start pulling it off and anything starts to come off, just stop and wait till it cools a little bit more, or go back and iron it a little bit more. Once you've pulled the backing off, make sure the iron doesn't go directly onto the HTV, because it'll melt it, it'll get all gross, and it'll stick to your mini press. And you don't want that. So I gotta plug one more thing in back here. Okay. So now we have all four of our pieces here. This little mat, these are really nice if you have any kind of a press. This is from Cricut. It came probably with an easy press at some point, but they're really nice for pressing. If you don't have one of these, put a towel or something down, so you don't want to press directly on your table. You risk melting what's under here. You could use an ironing board too. That's kind of what they're there for. Okay, the next thing we're going to do, I think I'm done with this. We're going to turn off our press. The next thing we're going to do is add this string in here. So we're going to create a little pocket to put the string in. So let's grab some string. I think this is adorable. I got this at a craft store. I think last year. I was really in need of twine and I couldn't wait for like the big roll to be shipped. And it's on a little clothespin and it is just the cutest thing. I think when it's out, I'm going to have to rewrap it with more twine because it's cute. I'll make this a little bit longer. Got my string. This is so pretty. This is baker's twine. I have this in a bunch of different colors, and when you have it in different colors, you can coordinate it with whatever color you're working with. All right, so we need to create this little pocket. So what I'm going to do is on the back of my letter, I'm going to fold this over just a little bit, and I'm going to glue it in place. But I just plugged in my glue gun, so we have to wait a minute until that heats up. What I can do is just kind of press them down. Cotton folds very easily. Make sure they're all even. So I have nice even pockets. There's the third one. There we go. All right. We got to make sure they're in order. L-O-V-E. Okay. Let me know if you are crafting for Valentine's Day. Like, would you take the time to make something like this? This will take us maybe 30 minutes to do this, and with the weeding, maybe a little bit longer. The Cricut cuts pretty fast, so you'll cut this out pretty quickly. You could also make this in something that wasn't necessarily red and Valentine-like. You could easily do this with a more, I don't know, generic saying. You could have something that says welcome or home sweet home or something like that, and hang it up and keep it more of like a year-round craft. Okay, I think we're good. So I am just going to add a little glue to the edge. And fold it over. Nice and easy. My trusty Gorilla Glue gun. I got one Gorilla Glue gun. It's this really big one that has like the giant sticks on it. And I loved it. Like I absolutely loved it to the point where I went and got another one. Their glue sticks are really nice too. Like they're a high quality glue. If you do this part before you put the HTV on, when you heat press the HTV to the cotton, the glue remelts. Ask me how I know that. I'm really glad I made one ahead of time so that I kind of know what to expect. All right, so then this is what we're left with. We have all the different letters. And there's our little banner. So now we're going to string it through onto the baker's twine. I need something to push it through with. Not this. This will poke me. I'm going to use a pencil. So I think I'm just going to hook it on to this end piece here and then just push it through. You could do like a crochet hook too. I think that would work. There, look at that. Push it all through. And another one. And look at that. We just made a banner. How cute is that? Now we have two. I love these. I'm going to go hang these up. Cute little Valentine banner. And I think when you use HTV or vinyl like this and you cut it with your Cricut, it just makes it look so much more intricate than something I could do by hand, because this would be really difficult to cut out by hand. It has kind of this really cute Scandinavian look to it. I like it. It's pretty. All the wonders and all the joys you can do with a Cricut or a smart cutting machine. And I did this with my Joy, my Joy Extra, which has been as low as $150. And I do so much of my crafting with the Extra. It's a small size, but really you can do almost every project with it. So between the Joy Extra and a little press like this, you can be crafting a ton of things, even bigger things. Like I've done full shirts like this because you can cut out up to a letter size sheet and then you could press that with one of these. So if you're looking at getting a Cricut or like upgrading, maybe you have an original Explorer or an older machine, the Joy Extra is a phenomenal way to go. Every week on Thursday, I share deals in a weekly newsletter. That newsletter is linked down below. And so whenever there are machines on sale or vinyl or whatever craft tool we're using, if it's on sale and I have a discount code, I am going to share it with you, because there's really no reason that you ever need to pay full price for anything. I'm going to get you the good deals. So if you want that in your inbox, you can go ahead and sign up down below. While you're down there, do not forget to enter to win. I am picking a winner next week, and I would love to send you one of these presses. If you're not already a subscriber to Creative Ramblings, I would love for you to subscribe, say hi, join me, find some craft videos you like. I'd love for you to be part of this community. So that was a fun little easy craft we did on a Friday night. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for being here and doing this. I enjoyed it. So I'm going to go relax, and then tomorrow I'm going to hang this up in my living room. You all have a great night.